Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our Chats with Emily, as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are in the Johnson edition. We turn now to poem 294, The Doomed Regard the Sunrise. And this poem was published in the Atlantic Monthly in March of 1929. It is a remarkable poem about perspective, and in that regards, it's going to take us back to earlier studies. Our assumptions that you've been following our stuff at LearnStrong.net, down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily, our playlist. I'm hopeful that you've worked through our set of introductory comments. I'm hopeful that you've already read the preceding 293 poems. We just finished with 293. I got so I could take his name. Now, I think that Emily, in many of the poems that she's working with, is always about perspective. I think it came from her study of Republic, especially Book 7 in the Cave Allegory. She says it this way: the doomed regard the sunrise with different delight, because when next it burns abroad, they doubt to witness it. The man, to die tomorrow, harks for the meadow bird, because its music stirs the axe that clamors for his head. Joyful, to whom the sunrise precedes enamored day, joyful, for whom the meadow bird has aught but elegy. Well, this is a brilliant little poem. Think about it. And hear all the D sounds, by the way, in this poem. The doomed regard the sunrise with different delight. The doomed obviously know they're not going to be around to see the beautiful sunrise because they're about to leave it, right? When next it burns abroad, they doubt to witness it. In other words, they'll be gone. The man to die tomorrow, especially by having his head chopped off by an axe, harks for the meadow bird, because he wants to hear it one last time, because its music stirs the axe that clamors for his head. What a brilliant line. I mean, look at that line again. Because its music stirs the axe that clamors for his head. And then from that to joyful, to whom the sunrise precedes enamored day. Back to poem 239 with enamored. Joyful, notice the repetition, for whom the meadow bird has aught but elegy. In other words, just singing because there's no reason to be sad. In other words, what she's saying at 2a, the doomed obviously see the sunrise differently from the non-doomed. In other words, everything in life is about perspective. At 2b, I love the D sounds, of course. Doomed will set it up for us. At 3a, I mentioned that I think Emily borrows heavily from her reading of Plato's Republic, especially the cave allegory. Remember, when you're sitting in the darkness of the cave looking at shadows on a wall, things look differently, obviously, than they do once you're outside of that cave. Finally, at 3b, to own a poem like this, in what ways has your perspective changed through your Emily study? And I'm hopeful that Emily continues to challenge you to see the world differently. Thank you.